FO is going to be holding a province-wide strike tomorrow, and that's going to impact all public elementary schools. Then on Friday, primary schools in 9 boards, including Toronto, York, Hamilton, Wentworth. But for many parents, trying to find childcare can become a headache. So what are your rights? To answer these questions, let's bring in employment lawyer Jon Pinkus. Jon, thanks for being here.
Good to be here.
So, are parents allowed to take their kids to work if they can't find adequate daycare during a teacher strike?
They may be, but the first thing they're going to have to do is they're going to have to speak to their employer. If this is something that's been done in the past and it's been done on a regular basis, then maybe this is something they can do. But no employee should be assuming that just because they're in this situation that they're going to be able to take their kids to work. They're going to have to explore other options, talk to family members, spouses, look at private daycare, and only once they've exhausted those options as a last resort can they go to their employer and say, now I need your help.
Now, if taking kids is not an option to work, can an employer or a worker request that the employer, give them a day off, maybe lieu days, maybe even work from home or off-site?
They can ask for those things, but the key thing to remember for an employee is that it's not their discretion to choose which of those things it is. So it has to be a collaborative process. An employer has to accommodate you, but as an employee, you have to cooperate. And if an employer says, look, it's not practical for me to give you a day off, but I can transfer you to a location where you're going to be closer to your home. I can have you working from home, telecommuting on these days. I can have these people covering for you. But you cannot dictate the terms as an employee. You do have to have that conversation with them.
Now, what if a boss just says no dice and resists even trying to have a conversation, to accommodate and find some common ground?
Well, an employer does have to try. So if an employer doesn't even try, it refuses to even engage in the conversation, doesn't hear you out, that could be discrimination on the basis of what we call family status. And if there is that kind of action, then you as an employee have a right to go through the Human Rights Tribunal. Reality of that process is it is long, and it's not going to be a solution to your situation in the short term.
Last thing, Jon, can a company or a boss legally fire a parent for cause if they ask for accommodations, and what recourse does a parent have if it gets to that point?
If an employee is asking that employer in good faith, help me out here, here's all the things I've tried, and they say, how dare you ask this, how dare you even bring this up, and I'm terminating you for cause, then that employee does have a right to sue that employer for severance, probably for breach of human rights as well, and they're going to have rights to compensation.
Jon, great information. Thanks very much. It's a dialogue we need to start having because we're here.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your time.